Taxes on cryptocurrency. A lot of you guys are having issues with taxes at the end of the year. Now, I know my face is probably kind of blown out right now, if I can stand right in front of. This is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet talking about crypto. There's a ton of people that are not keeping track of what they're doing with their crypto purchases. This is a huge issue right now because there's crypto activity going on. The IRS isn't seeing barely anybody reporting their crypto. There's a bunch of myths floating around out there in the crypto community about taxes and cryptocurrency. The biggest one that I see is, hey, since crypto is untraceable, kind of like cash, I don't have to show gains on any of the stuff that I buy because the government has no way of knowing that I, made those purchases. Let me just say that this is basically straight up tax fraud. It doesn't matter if the government can see or not. You need to be honest about the gains that you have made with cryptocurrency, or else you're committing tax fraud. You have to pay taxes on your cryptocurrency gain. The second myth that I see out there that I've heard before is people are saying, well, isn't a cryptocurrency trade, isn't it like property for like property? Which means like a 1031 exchange, I don't have to show any gain on it, right? Very rarely would any crypto trade ever be able to be a 1031 exchange. In fact, I think the government came out this year and said 1031 exchanges only apply to real estate. So it's definitely not the case anymore for crypto. If you're gonna take that stance and you've talked to a CPA and the CPA is telling you, all right, we're gonna do a 1031 exchange for this crypto, I would say maybe they know what they're talking about. Maybe you should do it. But under those circumstances, you got to remember there's a crap load of formalities, right? You have to do it in the formal way that a 1031 exchange is done. You need things, like an intermediary. You have to do all the correct paperwork. And not to mention the fact that you might as well set another plate at the dinner table because the IRS is going to be responding to that invitation that you sent them in the form of a red flag. They'll be over for dinner. I would just really steer clear of doing the 1031 exchange thing. I'm definitely not doing that for any of my crypto stuff. So then the other thing that I've heard is, hey, won't the exchange that I use just send me a form at the end of the year and then I can use that to do my taxes? No. These exchanges aren't really producing anything for anybody. It's still pretty much the Wild West. I'll bet you that that's going to be changing pretty soon. I mean, I know for sure we're going to start to see more regulation when it comes to exchanges. For now, you are responsible for telling the IRS what has happened on that exchange. The only thing you're really able to get out of these exchanges is generally when you log into your account, you can see a history of all your trades, all of your deposits, and all your withdrawals. You are going to use that information, use that to do your taxes with. You're going to use that to put into a tracker, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, to do your taxes. I wanted to share with you guys this method that I use, and you can take it or leave it. If you think it's cool, you can go and do this exact same thing for yourself. And I think it's really gonna save you a lot of headaches, solve a lot of issues for you, and hopefully keep you completely out of trouble when it comes to the IRS. I use coin tracking. What I do, and I'm crazy, I realize this, is that every time I make a crypto purchase, or I make a trade, or I make a deposit, or I make a withdrawal, or I do anything crypto, I go into my coin tracking account and I manually enter what I did, line by line, everything that I've done with crypto. This does a couple of things for me. The first thing that it does is it forces me to be really familiar with what I'm doing, right? I can't get away with making some quick decision and then just walking away and not remembering what I did. I have to make the trade, and then I have to open my portfolio within coin tracking, enter in exactly what I did, and it just forces me to be very familiar with what I'm doing. The second thing that I think it does for me is it takes the headache out of tax season for me, because I'm basically up to date all the time on all of my accounting. So at the end of the year, the only thing I'm doing is I'm going to my exchange and I'm logging into that account and I'm downloading a history of my deposits and my withdrawals, and then I'm downloading a history of all my trades. And I'm just printing those out and I'm making sure that that matches my coin tracking account. The only other thing I have to do is run a tax report within coin tracking, and I take that tax report to my accountant and she does my taxes for me. So it really takes the stress out of tax season for me, because I'm literally just kind of double checking what's gone on for the year and then running a report, and then I'm done. So this is the way that I do it. I know it's kind of crazy, but I know a lot of you guys are in the boat of having done no tracking at all. And if that's you, I really do feel for you, because I know Like before I got into this crypto thing, before I really got started, I was kind of fretting about like what would I do for taxes, and it took me a while to really figure it out. If that is you, don't worry, this year is gonna suck, all right? You're gonna have to go get a coin tracking account. There's a link in the description, takes you straight to coin tracking. You get this thing totally for free if you do under 200 trades, which I know a lot of you guys haven't done more than 200 trades. So you don't even have to pay for it. It's actually completely free for you. But if you want the upgraded features and you have over 200 trades, it's really reasonable. I know there's more solutions out there besides just coin tracking, and I've really honestly done my research on this. I've tried a lot of different ones, and I've just found coin tracking to be the best. It just works, and once I figure out something that works, I usually just stick with it. That's been my experience. So if you haven't done anything, go get your coin tracking account, get started, and probably what you're gonna have to do is go to every single place that you've been on the internet doing crypto stuff with. You're gonna have to go to your exchanges, you're gonna have to go to your wallets, you're gonna have to figure out exactly what you did throughout the whole year, and then you're gonna have to make coin tracking reflect that. One of the easy ways to do this, if you have a lot of transactions, a lot of exchanges now are offering the ability for you to take your trade history to a CSV file, comma separated value file. And then you can take that file and you can upload that to coin tracking. And so you don't have to manually enter everything. It actually just brings it in to coin tracking for you. I have done that, but what I usually do is I go line by line anyways. Right? I'm actually getting in there, looking at the report, checking out each and every transaction, making sure every single thing is accurate. So you can really pick your poison on this. You can do it manually like I do. I know that's crazy, but that's what I do. Or you can do the CSV file route. But your main job is to make sure that your coin tracking account matches everything that went on throughout the entire year. Then what you're going to do, once you get that accurate, you're going to make sure that you have all the supporting documents printed out so you can put them in a file with your taxes. And what I mean by that is all the trade history that you get from your exchange, or all the deposits and all the withdrawals from any wallets or exchanges. You're going to have all that downloaded, and you're going to put those in your tax folder with everything else so you can have those as supporting documents. Then you're going to go into your coin tracking account and you're going to run a tax report, and then you're going to take that tax report to either your accountant, or you're going to use that to do your taxes at the end of the year if you're a person that does your taxes yourself. That is how I do my taxes, and that is how I track everything that I do with crypto. So I hope this helps.